Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast, the second episode, season 1, episode 2. This one's titled, Things Don't Always Go as Planned, even on day 1. I don't know if I'll add that part to the title or not, but things don't always go as planned. You might notice if you're watching this on YouTube where you can actually see me, that I have on the same shirt. For those of you listening on Spotify or other applications, you can't see me, you're just listening. Just know I have on the same maroon crew neck, short sleeve tee. And the reason I have on the same t-shirt, it is the next day. I'm not recording this on the same day as episode 1, but I didn't make it to the gym yesterday. So it was still clean. So I just set it aside last night and put it back on today for today. And so the reason why I didn't make it to the gym yesterday, which is the reason for the title of the video or of the episode, things don't always go as planned, because though I was ready, I had planned my eating schedule. I had even gotten basically dressed, sat my shoes and socks out for the gym. I got a call. We've had an AC out. So we live in an RV, as you can probably tell if you are watching this again on YouTube. If not, you're listening to it. My backdrop is basically a United States map on one side of me, because this is also where we homeschool. This is a very multi-use area. It is the dining table, it is homeschool, it is my office, it's our gaming table, our game room. And then down behind me, you can see down our hallway with our refrigerator. And behind the curtain is my daughter's room. So we have 2 ACs, my point, and one's been out for a week and a half or 2 weeks. And I got a call yesterday that the new AC had gotten shipped and received by the person fixing it, and he would like to come out yesterday evening to install it. Who am I to say no to getting my AC back in summer? So, of course, said yes. Then on top of that, my husband's truck, which pulls the RV, has been having a little bit of an issue. And he got the part in yesterday that he's been waiting on for, half a week or a week. So he wanted to work on that while the guy was working on the AC. And that's not our only car. So we travel around the country for my husband's job. Hey, honey, if you're listening to this. And we only have one vehicle, the truck. And so he was working on it. And so we didn't go to the gym. No gym on day 1. It's quite the way to start, right? But the moral of the story is, as one of my mentors, Coach JVB, says, correct and continue. So even though I didn't really mess up, I didn't eat way off plan or skip the gym for a week. It was just day 1. So I corrected and I'm continuing. And so actually I went to the gym today already, which I normally wouldn't have. I usually work out in the evenings with my husband. But before I even film this video slash podcast slash, I guess that's all the slashes. Before I even film this, I already went to the gym, got my workout in, and am back. So today I actually did my new program day 1. And I talked yesterday about how the first day of anything, anytime you start something new, there's a learning curve. And that was the same. My workout probably took longer today than it will ever take me again for this program, because I was doing new exercises and in a different order and trying to figure out, because I do supersets, which is 2 exercises back to back, I was figuring out, where to be in the gym, on the gym floor, that would work for getting both exercises done at that time. Because I would repeat those for 3 times each, most sets 3 times. And so it took me a little bit longer, but I got my workout in. It was a really enjoyable workout. It's always fun to get a new program and try new exercises. And I was also recording some form videos to send back to my coach because proper form, especially on lower body exercises, is really important to prevent injury and to make sure you're working the muscles that you want to be working. So then I came home from the gym, had my post-workout meal. So I'll start, I'll rewind, we'll talk about nutrition for a second. I had my breakfast when I woke up earlier today. If you heard yesterday's podcast, I mentioned that I needed to start eating earlier in the day to squeeze in all my meals. And so this morning I took my own advice, started earlier in the day, even batched cook for 2 meals. So I have my breakfast ready for me tomorrow, or at least my eggs ready for me for tomorrow as well. And so I had that, let that settle, and that's when I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go to the gym, knock it out, because sometimes in the evenings, even for me, by the time it gets later in the day, it can be a little hard. Things come up, right? And I wasn't going to let things come up 2 days in a row. So I went to the gym, and it was funny because I was driving, and because I had just decided to go, I was to the point where I was like almost hungry. My stomach was almost talking to me that it was going to be time to eat, but here I was heading to the gym. So I had definitely let my breakfast settle, because you always want to let your food settle, especially if you're going to be working any type of legs, because you don't want your food to come back up and you don't want to feel nauseous either. And so I almost had too much time by the time I decided to go, but made it home, had my post-workout meal, which I guess meal is kind of a misnomer. It's really more of a post-workout snack. Typically, it could be different things, but it's usually just a protein and some carbs, and just like it's not a meal. Like for me today was a protein shake and a banana. So had that. We'll wait a little while while I talk to you all, and then after this, I will continue on with my second full meal of the day, not counting the post-workout as a meal. So yeah, I'm getting my meals in this way. I'm starting early and getting them done. And so the fun thing is, speaking of yesterday, how I was talking about when you're starting something new, you always have to like, it takes more time. And when I was at the grocery store, how I was really having to focus on what I was buying. By today already, day 2, my breakfast, I didn't even have to look at my meal plan. I knew what it was supposed to be. So I got my eggs out, cracked my eggs for the egg whites. If you heard also yesterday, had to use eggs for egg whites, and because they were out of the egg white cartons, but cracked my eggs for egg whites, had my full egg, got my gluten-free toast because I have to eat gluten-free. It's not just for a health kick. But and my fat, I love Kerrygold butter. So I had like half of my fat for there, and I saved the other half of the fat for later. Because yesterday I actually did a full fat yesterday, and I had a full tablespoon for breakfast on my toast. And I love butter. I love butter, period, hard stop, but I also love butter on bread. And even that 1 tablespoon was too much. Like I felt like I wasted some of my fat. Like I wish I could have some of this later. So today I just did half of a tablespoon on my bread, and then I can have the other half tablespoon of fat somewhere else in the day so I can enjoy it a little bit better or more. I mean, I'm going to enjoy butter any time of day, to be honest, especially Kerrygold butter. So good. If you've never tried it, which I think everyone has at this point, but if you haven't, you should definitely try it. So this is day 2 of my program, day 2 of my podcast, because I told you I promised to show up and walk you through it all as we go, because I am my own human guinea pig right now, going through the program that I am working with Team Strong Girls on. I'm working through their certification, coming up with my own signature program and really framework methodology to do body transformations. And so, like I said, I'm my first guinea pig, my first testing animal. I don't know, that sounds terrible. But once I get going through, see the results, I will then open up for a beta launch of the program with several people. So that way we can get lots of great results, lots of before and afters to show before I really launch it to the rest of the world. So I really appreciate you being here with me. and tuning in. Um, let's see. I think that was really all of my lessons that I've learned so far. Starting something new just has a learning curve, and things don't always go as planned. Already two really great lessons in life in just the first 2 days of the program. So I promise that I will always keep my episodes short and to the point because that's just how I operate in life. I don't like to waste time. There was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember exactly right now what it was. If you're not following me yet on Instagram and Facebook, definitely check it out at Age Interrupted on Facebook and at age_interrupted on Instagram because the other one was already taken. Um, I post a lot there, pictures and videos. And so a lot of the things I talk about through the podcast, well, you'll actually be able to see it happening almost in real time on my social media channels. So definitely like or follow those. Make sure and subscribe or follow this podcast. Share it. That would be great because I'm just a girl and want to help people because we're all worth so much. And most of us aren't, honestly, as tough as this sounds, most of us are not living up to our potential. Our potential is so great. Our human bodies have been designed amazingly, and we owe it to ourselves and to our families to tap into that potential. So until tomorrow, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you then.